All right, so let's look at an example of an annotated prompt. And so these are instructions for a project in an IRW class. Notice how it focuses on a community issue and it focuses on an editorial. And so I've gone through these instructions here and I highlighted in yellow what I thought were the most important phrases. And so the type of assignment I highlighted in yellow, and the purpose, what we're being asked to do, which is to inform and to persuade, right? And I highlighted the major topics that are important: community issue, problems within our community. I highlighted where I saw that I needed to find a source. It says annotate an outside source on the issue. I highlighted who I saw was the audience of this piece. And then in the margins, I summarized what I'm being asked to do so that I know that I can explain, to myself and to others what I'm being asked to do in this assignment, so that if I can explain it to myself and to others, that shows that I can understand what I'm reading, right? I know that I'll be on track. I'll be doing what's being asked of me, as far as the purpose, the audience, the sources. In green, I highlighted choices. And so I noticed that there were several choices that I could choose. And I chose the choice I thought might be most interesting. And then I had some questions that I wanted to ask my instructor. And so I noticed that this assignment asks students to focus on issues or problems in our community. And so I wanted to ask the instructor, well, how are we defining our community, right? Is it our class or Albuquerque or New Mexico, right? I'm reminding myself here that it says students not enrolled in our class, right? So probably not the students in our class, but when we say community, do we mean just kind of locally or, our whole state? Something I could ask my instructor. I looked here through the components that are required and highlighted the kind of steps that I need to take, right? And then I highlighted the idea about choosing an issue I feel strongly about, right? To keep myself focused on which of these issues do I feel most strongly about, right? And then I noticed that I get to provide a solution, right? What I think would be best to address the issue that I'm selecting. I also noted that I need to use details. I need to write at least 650 words, up to 1,000 words for this assignment. And throughout this, again, I am summarizing what I'm seeing, right? To make sure that I fully understand it. And then here I highlighted what I noticed about the format, right? So I need to make sure I'm using MLA format with these 4 components in the upper left corner with an interesting title in the center of the page, and in 12-point font in Times New Roman text. I also highlighted that I need to focus on paragraph focus, right, or structure, where each idea gets a new paragraph. I highlighted other places where I see that there is resources that I need to use. It says the CARS checklist. And so if I don't remember what that is from class, I should include a question, right? So that I can ask my instructor. I highlighted that I need to paraphrase and avoid plagiarism. And so I'm reflecting on how I think this will be helpful and important for me. And then I'm looking at the overview and the timeline, and I see that this essay is due in week 14. And so I need to be ready to share it with my peers to get feedback in week 14. And so that helps me kind of plan out, over the next 3 weeks. I am going to focus on completing my assignment. I will try to have it ready maybe at the end of week 13, right? I can make a little note in the side if I'd like. And so when you annotate in Word, you can use the highlighting feature. You can use different colors for different parts of the text or for different purposes. You can also add comments. And so if you scroll over a phrase or even just a word, you would go up into the review area and see that there's a comment box, and I can add a comment in this way, right? And save it this way, add my comments, right? Or I can delete it if I didn't mean to add a comment there. And so I choose the place within the text where I want to add a comment. And then I type my comment, and Then it's saved here along the side. And when I select one of these comments, it shows me where that comment has been placed. So see how choosing these comments here selects a word or a phrase, right? Or even sometimes a letter in the text. That's where I've placed the comment in the text. I should place the comments next to the text on which I am either summarizing or asking questions or defining keywords, just like I would if I was annotating by hand, where I would highlight the text and then in the margin, right, the white space, I would be summarizing, asking questions, reflecting, right, making notes here in the margins. And so I would encourage you to do this with all of your assignments. So your assignments in your IRW class, your assignments in your other classes that you're taking now and in the future. It will save you time ultimately because you will have gone through the assignment and noted parts that are important. Then you won't have to read the full piece again, right? Like I see here that I've highlighted the most important things that I need to do. And this can even help me before I turn in my assignment because I might open up these instructions and look at my assignment and try to see, did I meet all of the expectations that were asked of me, right? Did I accomplish the goal? Did I focus on the audience I was asked to write toward? No, did I include the resources that I was asked to use? Did I use the format that I was asked to use, right? You might, at the top up here, I could put in a comment that says due in week 13, or sorry, due in week 14, try to get this completed in week 13, right? Maybe the most important things could be a comment at the top. And that will help me stay focused on the goal of the assignment. It will also give me some questions that I can ask my instructor. I could send an email or I could ask in class, depending on my instructor's preferences or what I prefer. Okay, so thanks for learning about watching, annotating a prompt or an assignment with the instructions. Hope this was helpful. If you have questions, please reach out to your instructor and let them know. I'm sure they'll be willing to help you.